Young and the Restless next week. Kyle and Claire's bold rebellion against Victor. We've also got some on Lily Winters, Crystal Khalil, New Plan and Kane Ashby's, Billy Flynn, big strategy meeting. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt. And we have your latest Y&R spoilers for the week of August 4th. Click that subscribe button if you are not following us. Young and the Restless. Everyone back in Genoa City. At the end of this week, everyone from France had finally made it back to Genoa City. And Victor has got the Newmans worried about what Kane is planning. Jack Abbott's, Peter Bergman, and Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, are also worried about their son Kyle and what Victor and Audra Charles's, Zuleika Silver schemes could cost their boy. Claire and Kyle's dramatic move sparks Victor's fury on Young and the Restless. Next week, we do have big action on that front when Claire and Kyle make a big move that Victor is going to hate. He'll likely see it as an act of betrayal and defiance from his granddaughter Claire because Victor doesn't care what she wants for herself. He thinks he knows best. We already saw Victor getting all salty because Claire went to see Kyle first before she came over to the Newman house to see the family that had come back. Meanwhile, the rest of the Newmans had no issues with Claire going to see her boyfriend first. Everybody else was like, "It's fine. It's no big deal." So, Victor's already acting out, and he's only been back 5 minutes. Young and the Restless spoilers. Claire and Kyle make a deal with Adam. Next week, Y&R spoilers confirm that Kyle and Claire dropped by to see Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, at his office at Newman Media. He's glad to see his niece, and he asked Claire and Kyle why they stopped by. Claire tells him the same reason Newmans drop by unannounced any time is to make a deal. I'm betting Kyle and Claire approach Adam again about buying his apartment. If you recall, Victor warned Adam he better not sell his place to Claire and Kyle. Adam didn't see that it was a big deal, but Victor was really snotty about it. Claire put off moving in with Kyle because she wanted more time with her parents. But now that Cole has died, it looks like Claire is ready to move forward. She's grieving and may want to keep Kyle close. Losing Cole Howard, J. Eddie Peck, have Claire seeing just how short life is, and she likely wants to make the most of it. Plus, Kyle is a big part of Claire's support system while she's grieving, so he needs to be there for her. She wants Kyle close, so Claire may think now's the perfect time to get a place together. It was Kyle who actually had looked at the apartment and was kind of fast-tracking them moving in together. Claire backed it off, and now she may be the one to put on the gas. Even though Victor told Adam not to sell to Claire and Kyle, Victoria Newman, Amelia Heinley, and Adam have basically buried the hatchet and are allies working together to try and stop Kane. Young and the Restless spoilers. Victoria teams up with Adam? Adam may go to his sister Victoria and ask what she thinks. If Victoria tells Adam, "I think it's great. Go ahead. You should sell it to them," Victoria and Adam may form a united front to face Victor's wrath over him selling the apartment to Claire and Kyle. I do think Adam thinks that Victoria's opinion on this matter is more important than Victor's. There is more to come on this. Even if Adam says yes to selling, I'm sure Victor will be furious and he'll do more sabotage to stop them from ever unpacking one suitcase in the same place together. So Claire could be in for a rude awakening very soon. Secrets and schemes. Kyle's betrayal and Victor's suspicion in Genoa City. Claire still doesn't know Kyle was kissing Audra and rolling around in bed with her in France. Even though there was no actual bedding, it was still wildly inappropriate. Kyle insists he was testing Audra to expose the scheming with Victor, but if Claire knows the dirty details, she's not going to like it. Although Victor is mad that Audra didn't seduce Kyle and get him into bed, she technically did get him in bed. Maybe Victor thinks it was close enough and will go ahead and tell Claire exactly what Audra says happened. As of now, Audra told Victor she was still working on it and hasn't revealed all the details, but if she does, Victor may think, "You know what? I think that's enough." Audra was obviously trying very hard to seduce Kyle away from Claire. Lily Winters and Devon Hamilton's concerns over Kane Ashby's return to Genoa City. Next week's spoilers have Victor meeting up with Lily and Devon. Victor asks Lily if she knows that Kane is in town. It looks like the Genoa City locals left nice before Kane, but he is not far behind, and Lily is not a fan of her ex. A bunch of people told Kane, "Scrap your plans. Do not move back to Genoa City." He's not listening. Lily tells Victor that she and Devon were just talking about her ex. Lily plans to avoid Kane at all costs, but Victor's not sure that's a good idea. Victor thinks they should be keeping an eye on Kane. He believes they all need to watch and figure out exactly what Kane is up to on Young and the Restless. Victor wants to stay 5 steps ahead of Kane, which means watching what Kane does, what he says, who he spends time with, and where he's spending his money in town. Victor's strategy is smart, and since he can't be everywhere at once, having Lily and Devon on high alert is probably wise. Kane's strategy meeting with Phyllis, Billy, and Jack's unexpected alliance. As predicted, Kane is staying at the GCAC, which makes sense because he bought the whole place. Phyllis is also living at the GCAC among other people. As of Friday, Phyllis was talking to Diane Jenkins, Susan Walters, about Kane. Diane said Kane is going to figure out that Phyllis is just a parasite. Phyllis was talking big about how Kane can't get enough of her. Diane told Phyllis she thinks she and Kane are cut from the same shady cloth. Next week, Phyllis is in Kane's suite, and he's telling her that somebody else is joining their meeting. She wonders who it is since Kane's teaming up with this person. They must be a heavy hitter. Guess who it is? It's Billy, who says he's ready to make some waves. Phyllis and Billy were already planning to conspire together to get Chancellor back from Victor. And they thought Kane might be out of it completely because of the whole murder plot. But as we know, Phyllis, Kane, and Billy will be conspiring against Victor and others. I'm sure Amanda Sinclair, Miss Hale Morgan, and Holden Novak, Nathan Owens, will be joining them in the plotting as well. Young and the Restless spoilers. Jack aligns with Kane. I suspect Kane, Billy, and Phyllis end up with one more unexpected ally, and that is Jack. He already told Diane he's thinking he might need to ally with Kane, which means allying with Billy to help them go up against Victor to protect Kyle from Victor's schemes. Jack is looking at cutting professional ties with Billy so they won't bicker about business and can just be better brothers to each other. For Billy, this deal with Kane and Phyllis is professional. They want to crush Victor's business interests and take back Chancellor. For Jack, this is personal. He wants to hit back at Victor for plotting against Kyle. We'll have more on that. Be sure to check out our full weekly spoilers video tomorrow for the week of August 4th through the 8th to find out what Young and the Restless. The quiet undercurrents of rebellion will finally erupt into a storm that shakes the Newman and Abbott families to their core. Genoa City has seen its fair share of power struggles and shocking betrayals, but nothing quite like the alliance forming between Kyle Abbott and Claire Grace. Two ambitious souls determined to step out of the shadows of their powerful families. What begins as a spark of defiance turns into a bold rebellion, one that even Victor Newman himself may not be able to control. The brewing storm. Kyle Abbott has always been known for his charm, intelligence, and impatience. After years of trying to live up to the Abbott name, he's grown tired of being treated like a chess piece in corporate wars between Jabot and Newman Enterprises. His father Jack has spent decades defending the family legacy, but Kyle no longer wants to fight battles that aren't his. He wants control, freedom, and above all respect. Claire Grace, on the other hand, has spent months trying to rebuild her life after her twisted connection to Aunt Jordan nearly destroyed her. She's made remarkable progress, working under Nikki Newman's guidance and attempting to prove her loyalty to the family that once saw her as a threat. But despite her efforts, Victor Newman's watchful eyes have never softened. He still sees her as a potential liability, not as a young woman trying to start anew. When Kyle and Claire's paths cross again next week, what begins as a moment of shared frustration turns into an unthinkable partnership. A dangerous connection. It all starts at society. Kyle, brooding over another argument with Jack about Jabot's direction, orders a drink he doesn't finish. Claire, just off a tense meeting with Victor and Nikki, sits at the bar, eyes distant, trying to hold back tears. When Kyle spots her, he offers a seat, and their mutual exhaustion from family drama quickly turns into candid conversation. Sometimes I think they forget we're adults, Kyle mutters. Claire smirks faintly. Sometimes I think they forget we're human. The two laugh, but beneath the humor is shared pain, the weight of being heirs to dynasties that never stop demanding loyalty. It's in that moment of understanding that their connection begins to solidify. Kyle proposes they help each other, professionally and personally. Claire, with her intelligence and sharp instincts, could help him build leverage outside the family businesses. In return, Kyle could use his resources and influence to help Claire finally step out of Victor's shadow. What neither realizes is that their alliance will quickly cross lines neither can uncross. Victor's warning. Word of Kyle and Claire's growing closeness doesn't stay hidden for long. Genoa City is small, and gossip moves fast, especially when it involves Victor Newman's newest project. When Victor catches wind of Claire spending time with an Abbott, he's livid. Claire Grace will not make a fool out of this family again, Victor growls in his office, his voice sending a chill through the room. Nikki tries to calm him, reminding him that Claire has worked hard to earn their trust, but Victor is unmoved. Meanwhile, Jack Abbott gets wind of Kyle's meetings with Claire and warns him to stay focused on Jabot, not Newman drama. But Kyle, stubborn as ever, feels misunderstood by everyone. "Dad, I'm not your clone," he fires back. "I don't need your permission to make decisions anymore." The rebellion has begun, even if Kyle doesn't yet realize how deep he's already in. A rebellion takes shape. By midweek, Kyle and Claire begin putting their plans into motion. They discover that Victor has been quietly maneuvering to gain leverage over Jabot, a power play that could give Newman Enterprises an upper hand in the cosmetics market. Claire, determined to prove herself independent, shares information she overheard from a confidential Newman meeting. Together, they devise a counter-strategy, one that could protect Jabot and expose Victor's manipulative business tactics. It's dangerous territory for both of them. Kyle risks alienating his family, while Claire risks betraying the man who reluctantly gave her a second chance. But for the first time in a long time, both feel alive. Their partnership becomes electric, laced with admiration and unspoken attraction. Late-night strategy sessions at the Abbott cabin turn into long conversations by the fire. Claire admits how hard it's been trying to earn forgiveness she isn't sure she deserves. Kyle confesses he's tired of being the good son who never measures up. As they grow closer, Genoa City begins to buzz with speculation. Are Kyle and Claire just business allies, or is there something more between them? Victor strikes back. Victor Newman is not a man who tolerates rebellion. When he learns that Claire has been in contact with Kyle, and possibly leaking confidential information, he decides to send a message. Claire arrives at Newman one morning to find her access revoked, her projects reassigned, and her future suddenly uncertain. Nikki, caught between sympathy and loyalty to Victor, tries to intervene, but Victor is resolute. "She chose her side," he says coldly. Word reaches Kyle quickly, and his fury knows no bounds. He storms into Newman Enterprises, confronting Victor in his office, an act that shocks everyone. "You can intimidate everyone else in this town, but not me," Kyle says, his voice steady. "You don't own her, Victor. And you don't own me." The tension between the Abbotts and Newmans hits a breaking point. Victor's warning smile sends chills down Kyle's spine. "Son, you have no idea who you're dealing with." But Kyle doesn't back down. Not this time. Love, loyalty, and consequences. By week's end, the rebellion reaches a fever pitch. Victor begins quietly pulling strings to isolate Kyle professionally, threatening contracts and allies in Genoa City who dare to side with him. Meanwhile, Claire finds herself ostracized from Newman, uncertain where to turn. When she shows up at the Abbott mansion late one night, eyes filled with tears, Kyle opens the door without hesitation. "You don't have to do this alone anymore," he tells her softly. They share a quiet, intimate moment, one that suggests their connection has gone far beyond business. But even as they find comfort in each other, a storm looms outside their fragile alliance. Jack warns Kyle that his actions could destroy both families. Nikki pleads with Victor to let go of his anger before it tears them apart. Yet, the lines have already been drawn. Kyle and Claire have made their choice, to stand together, no matter the cost. The fallout ahead. Next week on The Young and the Restless, expect fireworks as Victor retaliates in ways only he can. Jack will be forced to choose between protecting his son or defending the Abbott legacy. Nikki will struggle with her faith in Claire, torn between maternal instinct and loyalty to Victor. And as for Kyle and Claire, their rebellion will take a shocking turn, one that could either forge them into Genoa City's newest power couple or destroy everything they've built.